Hello and welcome to a very special Wake and Jake. Today is December 3rd, which I knew without looking. We're going to do some mock trades. Who doesn't love them? There's an ESPN article with those, so we'll go through them, find maybe some other mock trades we like or dislike, or maybe we add on to and figure that out. Who doesn't love a mock trade? Come on, people. This time of year, winter meetings inbound. Also probably going to spend a couple minutes with Uncle Jason Stark wrote an athletic article. Am I a reporter on Reporters? About my favorite topic in baseball, something I brought up, but I haven't done like research in an article on that'll allow us a thought exercise. Because I think we need more doubles and triples, and Uncle Jason agrees. And so does Theo Epstein. He's on the Ep. Not true. First lie of the episode. Where's he at? Is he going to be the next commissioner? Wasn't that the whole thing for a little bit?
Guess so. I guess we're a couple years from when names for that are going to start going around.
27. End of 2025. Final month, people. Get dialed in. Maybe we land the ship with a football weekend because we're going to be juggling that. We'll be at winter meeting Sunday. Me, BBD, Jolly Olive, Rob Scirocco. So we'll be doing some live reporting from there. Maybe we'll do a Wake and Jake breaker. If there's something really big, we're going to be set up for talking baseball. We're going to figure that all out. And you're going to like it, and you're going to be happy, and you're going to subscribe.
You'll watch, you'll subscribe, you'll send to a friend.
Share with a friend. We thank you guys. So let's mock trades gets everyone all riled up, and it's kind of, even doing talking baseball this morning. We had a fun roundabout episode where we had if you're a JM person, get excited. Jolly, Swilly, Shelfie, Norp, and Joe's McFly made an appearance. Yeah, it was I was a little nervous at first just because, I don't know, when you get a lot of voices talking, that can be, well, it wasn't everyone at once, by the way. But it was just funny seeing different people's angles, just throwing out who you got signing where. The Kyle Tucker thing is still crazy. Dodgers, Blue Jays, Yankees, Mets. And just some of the prospective trades are just what people are eyeing in their division. So go check that out, and we'll be living it live. But with mock trades, one name that a guy that I haven't had in the mock trade generator, which every place does have, so I either need to grow up or figure it out. It starts with Ketel Marte. Shelfie had Ketel Marte getting traded to the Boston Red Sox. I hated that. Hated every part of it.
It didn't sound fun.
I don't like them. If Ketel Marte is available, Ketel Marte is getting traded. And I know there was clubhouse stuff, and I know he gets paid a salary now, but it's a salary to be the best second baseman in baseball, to be a switch hitter, to be a middle-of-the-lineup threat. His one true postseason run, he went nuts. That if Ketel Marte is available, he will be traded for. I realize there's a price tag, and the Snakes have to agree to that price tag. And basically, this is a long-winded route of me saying that I don't think that's going to be there. Like, I think the Diamondbacks are like, yeah, it's kind of like, again, I shouldn't be jumping to fantasy football because I'm playing awful this year. I guess I'm not playing.
The fact that I hadn't heard an update
right
until sort of this point.
Well, I have the one league I care about, and that's been awful. Like, we're looking at last
one of those years.
The quarterback situation. This is my advice to everyone going into next year's fantasy football. The old play whoever at QB, that's out. You need a dude who puts up points week in, week out, or you're not competing. I think my QB situation right now might be Tua and Shuck. That shucks. Anyways, I'm going to make, again, I have like 3 leagues I care about. The one I really care about, I'm horrible in, awful, and I hate it. And that was not the plan. Anyways, it's kind of like if in fantasy football you're struggling, but you have like the top player, you have Jonathan Taylor, you have whoever that you're like, hey, they're available. Like, I'm trying to make my team better. What do you got? But when the offers come in, you end up being like, well, I don't think I can do that. Like, you're
probably should keep the one good player.
I'm getting a lesser player at that position, and then the other guy, I'm not even sure, are they starting for me? Like, so if Ketel Marte is available and truly available, the trade will get done. And now I probably sound like I'm walking over myself. I don't think it is. Like, his extension is just starting. I think the Diamondbacks love him. He had 2 seasons with Seattle when he was 21 and 22 years old. But he's, he could be a Diamondback statue guy, and this is an organization that doesn't have a lot of that. Like, they're new. And Ketel Marte is really, really good. That I just don't see the trade happening. And BBD, I'll let you double check me on this one because some of these are very clear proposals and some of them are not. The first one thrown out there is Seattle, which, hey, don't get me wrong, I'll throw out a fun bookend career. Start in Seattle, chunk of it in Arizona, finish in Seattle.
A little bit played this game with Eugenio quicker last year.
I like that exercise. I suppose there isn't a true offer here.
Below that, there is a specific offer.
Okay.
They're talking about trades with 2 different teams here, but I don't see a specific Mariner proposal there, but there is one for the next team.
Our guy, Alden Gonzalez, he just throws a bunch of names out there. Cole Young, Michael Arroyo, trying to do it without trading Colton Emerson. I don't know. Sure. Go nuts. So the first actual trade proposal is the Boston Red Sox, which Shelfie said in a reminder I didn't like. And he said, he throws out Jarren Duran and Kyson Witherspoon, which, okay, let's process this a little bit. Jarren Duran, I think can very much get traded. There's been talks about that for years. This is one of the weirdest destinations I've seen, just from the fact that, I don't know, Corbin Carroll is like a sick version of Jarren Duran. And again, not that these two can't play in the same outfield, although it is weird that for how fast these guys, they're not slightly better defenders.
Yeah, they're both like Duran, I guess, still gets a lot of center field run, but they're both like tagged as like, you should put them in the corner though.
Yeah. For being two of the, like, I don't know, when you watch them, you're just like, how fast are those cats?
And those two are good at everything.
Yes, like it's just you'd think one of them would be like a sick defender, and they're kind of not. Of all the landing places for Jarren Duran, and an Arizona team that has had too many outfielders,
particularly left-handed hitting ones,
going on the past 3 years, right? Like it's been, when are they trading away their outfielders? I guess I'm a little surprised to see that. But like we talked about, I mentioned, had a conversation with Carabas. They're going to trade an outfielder. Like, I wonder, Wheelier. But now we're back to outfielders, but that's the years of control. And then Kyson Witherspoon, the prospect here, 21 years old, 15th overall draft pick. So, you're talking about a real guy here, had a very nice season in the minor leagues. In college last year. That's still kind of nuts, huh? It's like, oh, you're a part of this, but you're a part of that.
Weird year.
Oklahoma Boomer Sooners, great defense, horrific offense. Johnny Mateer, who was kind of one of the stars of college football to start the season, their offense has been ugly. Little college football snuck it in. I guess you could tell from the start of this exercise that I was kind of hoping, and this was from Hembo, who I think he's a John Boy Media fan. So the fun thing here, and again, maybe this turns into our conversation about Uncle Jason later. They were saying, like, how many doubles and triples would Arizona have with Duran and Carroll? Yes, that would be cool, and would definitely put pressure on the defense. Christian Campbell has a contract still. I feel like there can't be ready to punt on him.
Yeah.
I personally don't see the Ketel Marte trade. I still think that Arizona is in the business of winning baseball games. I think Ketel Marte is at a fine price tag, gives them the best option, that I don't think they would have to move him to get an outfielder for 1 year. Or if they do, it would be to bring in some serious prospects and maybe half punt on this year because Corbin Burns is going to be out for the year, more or less. That maybe you could do a final tune-up year because if you're trying to compete with the Dodgers.
And you tell yourself, we can do another signing later, or I don't know, get this money off.
Yeah, for me it turns into one of those, if you lose Ketel Marte, you'd want to replace him with a player like Ketel Marte. That, again, I currently don't see it. I will be wrong. I have been wrong. I'll be wrong again. But I don't know. I haven't gotten all that. I think the mid-season Ketel's having a bad time, or we're having a bad time with Ketel, was getting blown a little out of proportion. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I can absolutely believe that to this point in the offseason, they've done your due diligence because your whole job is finding out what teams would give you for all of your players.
Right.
And so I believe that up until this point, they've had conversations, whatever that exactly means for them. I don't know. I don't know what they want, but I have a hard time believing it's a trade as much as articles listing trade guys keep saying.
Yeah, and I just think
I've been more surprised by other things in the past.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Corbin Carroll, who signed that big, young player extension, 6 years left. I know that doesn't sound crazy, but think about all the free agents and contracts that we already talked about this offseason between Nimmo, Simeon, George Springer coming up at the end of his contract. That it's time can move fast. That if you're moving on from Ketel, I can't promise you the next steps are going to be clean at all, or you're going to have any players, even in the realm of Ketel Marte, that I personally do not see how you could reallocate the money better. That even if you bring in other young players and a couple of them contribute, which that's hard to do in a trade, that none of that makes sense to me. So, again, let's find out as the offseason goes. And the other thing I need you to find out about is Fabletics. And I've got some great news for you people. You're wondering, you're like, Jake, we come here, we listen to that sultry voice. I do think I have an apple stuck in my throat. If you hear me cough a couple times, not sure what it's about. It has nothing to do with my Fabletics. And here's the deal. I'm wearing the pants today. I'll show them at the end of this. And it's kind of everything I've been telling you guys. Dress pants that are extremely comfortable. Kind of feels like I'm in the jogger lane. But right now I'm wearing these nice, wear them to dinner. I'll bring them to winter meetings.
Oh, yeah. You can.
Green pants.
You could dress them up.
I could wear these with a suit jacket. And you'd be like, all right, ooh.
In fact, you might on the next episode.
What gala's he going to? You've probably pieced it together that I haven't read you a word of what Fabletics wants yet, but that's because I'm being honest with you. And the joggers, the jackets, everything they have a ton of winter. They have things for every season. If you're looking to kind of redo, if you need to start over, which, by the way, New Year's coming, Fabletics gets you in the game big time with their exclusive offer just for you, 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP. So, that's the step. You got to dip the toe into the VIP game. But once you do, and you head to fabletics.com/bakers, you sign up as a VIP, 80% off everything. And, I mean, they have it all, like dress wear, cold wear, warm wear, workout gear. So you can really, if you're looking for a little bit of a new step into 26, haven't said that yet, scared. Fabletics.com/bakers. Sign up as a VIP. 80% off. Fabletics.com/bakers. Let's continue to chew through this article. So next on the table, Alec Bohm
Oh.
which it's year 15 of Alec Bohm trade rumors. And we have a proposal here. And hey, we are back to the Boston Red Sox, kid. Okay, it's a Sox show. Eric Karabell. I feel like I got fantasy advice from him when I was in middle school. The Red Sox should trade Duran to the Phillies. Interested. For a package including Alec Bohm. So, that's 1 year for 1 year, right? This is Bohm's.
They are both 1 year left.
Bohm's free agent year, Duran's free agent year, and I'm glad he phrased it that way because I think all of us initially are like, well, Duran. I've seen Duran have like an 8-WAR season where that's not where Bohm does well because he was lackluster defensively. A lot of Philly fans chimed in and said he was pretty good at third this year, so do what you want with that. And he is one of my current all Eddie Rosario teams that, like, yes, Alec Bohm's stats shouldn't jump off the page to you, but he's hit 4th or 5th for the Phillies throughout this, or since Rhys Hoskins left. That was a good reminder from Shelfie today, which also just ticked off a little Jake thing. If Schwarber leaves and you need a cheap throw 1 year at Reeser for $10 million, see if that happens again. Anyways, Alec Bohm, yeah, I think it feels like both sides are ready to move on. This might even be the final point. Like, hey, Bohmer, you gave us a kind of a good run of a season. We know who you are. We need a little more pop. You played fine at third. Like, tip of the hat. We had a nice run with each other after our incident. The
People
incident. I guess it would just be, while Philly has been looking for an outfielder for a while and kind of a leadoff hitter, that, hey, Jarren Duran, if the Red Sox are looking to make the move, and I guess Bohm would be Bregman insurance if Bregman signs with Detroit or whatever the other Bregman teams are, that Alec Bohm could then come in and be your third baseman, or the third base, first base option that an odd amount of teams are into, a la the New York Yankees, a la the Boston Red Sox. So I could see that as a start. It's just the Phillies would have to throw in something, and it's what is the Red Sox something? And, hey, we can figure that out, whether that's prospect capital, whether that's a relief pitcher. Ryan Kerkering's last moment with Philly was a bad time. I know I daydreamed the Yanks going for him. I like the concept. I won't stamp the trade because I need something else. But if Alec Bohm plus as a Bregman alternative plan, this is very interesting.
Yeah, and like both of those players on both of those teams, we can all see it.
Oh my God! I mean, yes. I mean, those are different versions. They've both worn red. They're both they're like cousins.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of greasy.
Hair, greasy, muscular.
Let's look up. Alec Bohm's spray chart. We're pulling homers. We're not pulling a ton of balls that I don't know if the monster brings him any extra juice. Because again, that place can help out a righty power hitter. Actually, the homers would have went down. And they would have went down every season. So, something to think about if you're the Red Sox on there. Okay, so that throws me off a little bit. But I see the concept of, hey, we are the Red Sox. We need an Alex Bregman pivot plan. We move the money to a 2 starting pitcher. We get Alec. We bring in Bohm. He can work it out with Marcelo Meyer at third, or he can figure it out at first. It gives you some options. I'd be interested in that. And by the way, if Red Sox fans are like, oh, you're okay with us getting Bohm but not Ketel Marte, it's not that. Like I had Bohm on my initial Yankees offseason plan. I think that's a good guy to bring in. I think he hits. And I think there might even be more in there. but I don't know. That's just me. Next on the table, here come the Mariners again. The Cleveland Guardians should trade Stephen Kwan to the Mariners. Now this is interesting. This is from Bradford Doolittle. I think he was on our befriend list. Do we have to send out some Christmas cards?
Yeah, but a lot of people we wanted to befriend this year, and hey, winter meetings is this year.
Oh, shoot. Damn. Hey, nice to meet you. I kind of love it. What's our Mariners outfield right now? Julio. We're going to give him a spot. Randy is in left, and it's listed as Victor Robles. So Victor Robles had a pretty weird year. Has also had a pretty not fantastic career outside of his Mariners games that got him a 2-year extension. No comment. Hey, if you push Randy over to right, which I don't think he's done a ton of that recently, but early Rays days, and then you put Kwan in left. Kwan and Julio. Hello. You're looking to get rid of doubles and triples. That's nasty.
I don't know the Mariners ballpark shape as well as I'd like to off the top of my head as far as which corner could be bigger, but like Kwan has a good arm too. Like there's kind of no reason he shouldn't be able to do right field if that's what they want to do. I feel like you can there's options there.
Oh. I think he gets deep in right center. I feel like I've seen balls land there. Or Julio.
I know they're big.
Big balls. Then you go Kwan, Julio, Cal, Randy, Naylor. That's pretty nice. I've thought Kwan gets traded. It's the opposite of the Ketel stuff. For where his offensive profile lands on a piece of paper, where he is at in his contract, and the way the Cleveland Mariners the Cleveland Guardians operate, I think it's a match. And hey, like if Seattle's still not known for being big buck Seattle, like we haven't been talking about Kyle Tucker to Seattle, well, could you talk about Stephen Kwan, who you're going to get 4 WAR out of, even if he has a bad offensive season, and you can trade maybe not even your top prospects to a franchise like the Guardians, who likes to do give us 3 or 4 prospects and we'll figure it out. Now that's something that's starting to make a lot of sense. I think this would be my number 1 of the article so far.
Maybe we'll rank them at the end, which ones we most believe.
And then we're going to rank everyone in the office too. On personality, then looks. And where we think their IQ's at. So that should get really testy around here.
It's a very complicated rubric.
Whatever. It's the 90s, man. None of that was true. A couple lies this episode. What's that about?
You're on a lie kick today.
I'm on a lie kick. My flight is earlier tomorrow than I thought.
Ooh.
Not that should make you start lying. And it's at JFK. So I just
two things about the flight.
I just doubled up that like my morning might just be ruined. I shouldn't say is ruined. But I need to make plans for that. And I'm just on a weird, like I haven't been working a lot, but I am working a lot. And winter meetings is exciting, but winter meetings is also daunting. Because we tried to make a plan. You don't really know.
It's a little bit dependent what happens and what the vibe is with just who's there.
Like, this is some pathetic old stuff, but I was like, we might have to plan almost a nap time.
It's a big night.
Because we're on the East Coast.
Shift. And it's an East Coast.
Like, you kind of mentally want to be available till midnight-ish.
Yeah.
And then that kind of turns into the trade deadline like 12:30. Like, if something happens at 1 or later, was it Stanton that we always reference, that he was like
Stanton
a 3 a.m.?
Was really late.
I mean, at a certain point, we have to draw our line in the sand. But yeah, it's also exciting. I'll be excited once we get there. I'm currently in between, because I'm not sure what me and my mom are going to do. Again, not in a daunting way. She texted me, she said Friday night there might be a dog parade.
Okay. If anybody listening doesn't, you're visiting your mom doing kind of Thanksgiving this week before winter meetings because she's not far from Orlando.
Because it was either go to Florida, come back, go back to Florida, or just combine the two. So again, I'm half excited for both. Again, why does that correlate to me lying? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Why do you think this made
Comment
more
below.
lying?
What makes you lie? The Chicago White Sox, should trade Luis Robert to the Kansas City Royals. How do you like that? Says the Royals are connected with Duran. Again, I already did that trade. Duran for Bubic. Red Sox get their need. Kansas City gets their need. Luis Robert, again, Bradford Doolittle, who I have to befriend in the next couple days. Maybe that's why I'm just daunted right now. Chicago has been in such a messy spot with not only their organization, but Luis Robert, for how many years now that he was their prized possession to, are they going to trade him, to are they going to release him, to are they not going to pick up his option, to trade him interdivision, again, now making $20 million, which I think he would get for 1 year, but also for almost no value. Like, you're not getting something really, truly back from Kansas City for a player that's been hurt and there's performance questions at this point. Then, no, I've been out on all the Luis Robert stuff. I mean, hey, Kansas City will take a lot of upgrades in the outfield, although if I got to make a player better just by their name value, John Rave. Come on. Imagine John Rave homers in the stadium. Bounce. That I'm out on that, sadly. But, and I'm out on Luis Robert. Again, where the value prop is, this is their final dance. They're hoping to get a good half of baseball out of Luis Robert. And if they get that, they could get a nice little package at the deadline. Even the way I phrase that feels gross. Nice little package for Luis Robert. And does he have one more option year if he actually did look good again, or is this it either way? Let's see. So he does. So again, if you could get the good first half or 2 months from Luis Robert, you can then trade him a center fielder with 1.5 years left who plays good defense, who has power and speed, for 1.5 years, $30 million. The value of that is now back in play. That I don't see it this offseason again. And I hope there's another half to him that we're talking about. And we can add him to that all White Sox team who left and started playing well. Remember Andrew Vaughn? How crazy was that? That was nuts. What are his... Okay. Andrew Vaughn, final number, check in. Andrew Vaughn left for Milwaukee, played 64 games, 308, 375, and 869 OPS for the former number 3 overall pick. After being just kind of bad. I won't read his White Sox stats. They're bad.
Those are bad numbers.
Those are very bad numbers. On every front, and then on every front, he was good with the Brewers. There's something there, people. I don't know what to do with it. Sorry to our White Sox fans. The Pope. The big man, or the big man that leads to the big man. Not sure how it works.
We're sorry to the Pope.
Luis Robert. Oh, the other, I didn't see that there was another offer-ish listed for him. The Phillies. Yeah, I mean, this is the one that we used to dream of, and Jesse Rogers talks about Gavin Sheets and Andrew Vaughn escaping the White Sox and achieving. Yeah, I mean, this would be a Phillies. Again, you get the defense, you get the speed. You don't even need Luis Robert to be special offensively, even though we still think he probably can. But, you know, you can have him middle back of the lineup, and if it starts to come together, you stumbled into gold. But I think with this Philly season being so important, I just don't know how much you could bank on that. I would need that to be the third or fourth Phillies move to feel comfortable with it. and they probably would too. And now we're talking about a third or fourth move, paying a guy $20 million again. I don't know. I think if we did a Family Feud baseball players we'd love to see on a new team, Luis Robert would be pretty high on the list. That if it happens, I'll be excited. I just don't see it. Holy smokes, they got a few more here to chew on. I'll start.
I think some we're gonna really be into.
Okay. Well, we jump to the Minnesota Twins. Our guy Trevor Plouffe's franchise. They've got a couple here. Byron Buxton to the Dodgers. Tim Keown, not sure if I'm saying that right. Shout out. He puts this in the why because they can category. Not wrong. That would allow then it would be Pages and Buxton in left and center, coming off Pages's nice regular season, tough postseason for Andy. I've kind of liked LA as a Kwan team because they like guys that are just really good at baseball. They like the guys that you really don't want to see come to the plate. Tommy Edman, Kwan. I mean, the other guys are like Hall of Famers, but you get the point. Buck Daddy on a new team would be sick, man. I think he's gone. What he did last year went very much under the radar because I clicked on Ralph Buxton, 0 WAR, 19 games, 4.25 ERA. Byron, 30 career WAR, had his first season with over 102 games last year since 2018. 35 home runs. That is one of the Dodger and rich team luxuries is you could take a chance on a Byron Buxton. It would be tough because Minnesota does love him, and the way Trevor talks about him as a part of their org. And it's $15 million a year, which, again, think of everything I just talked about Luis Robert. When Buxton's on the field, he's going to perform, which we don't know that part with Robert anymore. That he could just be a part of the Dodgers and the potential. This guy could win a World Series MVP or a CS MVP easily. But yeah, I think he's on the table. It just gets really tricky because prospect-wise, the Twins wouldn't get a haul back just because the injury history is so intense.
What is his value in a trade? Because it is real money, but in the grand scheme of things, not that much. Yeah, but the injuries, but the Twins kind of only want to get off money. And the no trade clause, so the fact that you're even agreeing to a trade means you're somewhere he said he'd be okay with going.
His current contract is less than he would get in free agency. So there is that side of it. It would almost have to be the point of reference I have for this is the Yankees when they traded for Todd Frazier. Todd Frazier was the name because Home Run Derby, Todd Frazier, Little League World Series, the whole thing. That trade was really for Tommy Kahnle because they got, 3 years of control for him? And D-Rob.
Like that.
But it was funny, like Todd Frazier headlined that trade. Value-wise, he did not. That it would almost have to be a trade like that Twins fans could be like, hey, look, we got this guy back. And really the asset in the trade is one prospect who they got to take a chance on, but maybe they get 1 year of an MLB guy that they're like, hey, I know Buxton's gone, but look, we're going to get to watch blank for the year.
I saw because, one just passed and had an article earlier in the week that we thought about doing for this episode, and he said, no, Buxton is much more open to the no trade thing than his comments at the deadline where, given that it seems like the Twins are trending a direction that he doesn't need to be there for.
He turns 32 in a couple weeks.
And some other articles in trying to assess his value are like, well, maybe it's do you combine him with one of your other real people? Is combining him and Jarren, you get the Godfather package and you get the most you can without having to say this is what we got for Buxton. I don't know.
Very interesting you mentioned.
That makes a team more likely to include just whatever their good things are.
You mentioned Joe Ryan.
Oh, how about that?
He is mentioned to the New York Yankees with Ryan Jeffers. Wow. You can never have enough pitching. Amen. And the Yankees had all lefty catchers that I had Ryan Jeffers in my Yankees offseason plan. I did on Talking Yanks. I did not have Joe Ryan. Wish I did. If this is on the table and the Yankees can trade a pitching prospect, Spencer Jones, whatever.
If those two things are the main things, mystery third prospect, if that's a pitcher, hitter, whatever.
And, like, front offices are real people, too. Like, the Yankees knowing that the Red Sox almost got it done for Joe Ryan at last deadline. Like, do you guys remember
and want to do it again?
You guys remember the trade deadline where the Red Sox needed Rizzo and the Yankees needed Schwarber? So they traded for the other guy just as like an FU to the other team. Sometimes stuff like that is real because we're still dealing with people. That if Joe Ryan is on the table, the Yankees will have a rotation by the end of the year, or they should, knock on wood. Garrett Cole is coming off Tommy John, expected in May. Carlos Rodon coming off an injury, expected in June. Clark Schmidt coming off an injury, expected September, August. We'll see. That the Yankees, oh God.
In the vein of doing what you don't want. I mean, when we thought Joe Ryan went to the Red Sox,
it's Joe's McFly. Everyone.
What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me, man? Pitch outside on Josh Lowe.
So,
Joe Ryan is a fucking Red Sox.
again, at Joe's McFly. I have changed my tune. If I could rework my Yankees offseason plan, which is getting a little late, winter meetings are coming, I've been wondering what they were going to do for starting pitching. There's kind of the old route, like 1 year of Bassett or Verlander or something like that. Pitching is so expensive, and the Yankees have prospect capital that I have them. I think you'd rather just trade for pitching, get your one big hitter, whether that's Belly, whether that is Kyle Tucker, which I've been talking myself into. Not talking myself into. He's really good. That would be a dream trade for the Yankees. Again, it would take the Twins buying in on the Yankees prospects. The Yankees have real prospects to trade. The Yankees are going to be a trade team. Speaking of, we got a couple more trades to get through, and it's brought to you by our friends at Shopify. That's right. I like a paper shuffling noise. I'm not scared of it. Shopify, this company was built within Shopify. True story. We started posting shirts. Took them to Shopify. We heard they're good. Turned out they're great. We're still with them. I mean, we're sneaking up on a decade, people.
Wow.
And we just relaunched our /line site with them. It was awesome. We needed to shake it up. We needed a better website. We needed a better customer experience, and Shopify did that for us. They also on the back end. That's where business gets done, people. That's how Milwaukee gets their pitching staff every year. Their AI tools, Shopify Sidekick and Magic, they show you the way. They can lead you down a path to whatever you are looking for to do with your business and help you connect to your customers. So if you want to be like us and start building your brand from the ground up, it's time to go over to Shopify and start your trial today. Click that link, shopify.com/Yanks, if you're ready to leave the amateurs and head over to the big league. Now this one, and sorry for becoming a little Yankee focused, it's late in. This one is the new one that I think is happening. Because these two front offices have flirted for a few years now. It feels like you actually have fit for fit. Edward Cabrera to the New York Yankees for Jasson Dominguez. Jasson Dominguez had a very nice rookie year. Emphasis on nice. He hit right-handed pitching well. He did not hit left-handed pitching well, to the fact that he started losing opportunity to try to improve on it. The defense was suspect. It's a big Yankees left field, so that didn't help him. And again, the way the Yankees handled it felt a little bizarre. Jasson Dominguez has a serious chance to hit on this level, and you'd like to think a level of outfield defense. Again, tools-wise, going back to Duran and Carroll, Dominguez can fly. The throwing arm is strong. It's either a matter of confidence or practice, which everyone, we're getting pretty good with Yankees beat writers or just the Yankees in general. Everyone said, Dominguez is a dude. The work ethic is there, everything. He's still very young, 22. And the other thing in play here is that Trent Grisham accepted the qualifying offer for the Yankees that Jasson Dominguez or Spencer Jones should be traded this offseason for the Yankees. Jones crushed it in the minor leagues this year, went to college. It's kind of do or die time. Dominguez got called up last year, can hit. The fielding's a question mark, but that's the question mark you'd rather deal with if you're any team. So Edward Cabrera has a lot of arm talent. I remember him having a very nice start against the Yankees. And again, this is the Yankees offseason wasn't making a ton of sense to me. And then when these young pitcher trades, because it would be 3 years of Cabrera, I believe, that for the 3 years of Cabrera, for 5 years of Dominguez, the Marlins can buy in on the upside. They can trade from their pitching depth. You could potentially have a cornerstone Latin player to go with Stowers in the outfield, that you could actually have a lineup forming in Miami, which when's the last time we've talked about that? Literally, Delgado? Reyes? It's been a minute. And Edward Cabrera, man, 137.2 innings pitched, a 3.53 ERA. He took a step back last year. Everything else has been pretty solid. Young, controllable. He's making, I think he's set to make $3 million this year.
3.7 is the projection I'm seeing.
So the Yankees, if we're talking Kyle Tucker to try to get the Yankees to the next level in a division where the Toronto Blue Jays just went to the World Series. So you're going Tucker over Belly. You're talking a $37 million a year player. Well, then you got to go cost-effective somewhere else. Pitching, which has more risk to it than a good hitter, injury-wise, in my opinion. You trade from your depth, and it could be straight up. I think Dominguez for Cabrera, if I'm the Marlins, I guess I don't follow super closely. I don't know what other offers are out there, because that would be the great game. But as far as a young outfielder with potential goes,
and ready to be in the big leagues,
I mean, plug him in the lineup tomorrow. Dominguez in left, Stowers in right. I wouldn't say there's something brewing in Miami, but you still have pitching. Augustine Ramirez at DH, Xavier Edwards, Jacob Marcy in center. I'd be taking Griffin Conine out of the lineup. I don't know. I really think the Yankees are going to do a trade like this. I don't know if this one is it. This one makes sense. I think even if I took my Yankees lenses out, I think they're going that route. Let's see, the final couple on here. Marlins trading for Sandy. Excuse me. The A's trading for Sandy from the Marlins. Dave Schoenfield from the top rope. Hey, we've heard Sandy stuff for years. His final 12 starts, he looked like Sandy, a 3.13 ERA. And again, coming off of injury and getting built up a little more, you wonder if he could get closer to Cy Sandy. I didn't think I'd see the Athletics here. Not fully sure what that's about. That I don't know, Dave. I respect the game, and if you're right, then I'm going to have to shake your hand very firmly.
I mean, we've talked about do the A's trade Sevy, and I guess that's a natural trade one out.
You're swapping money there with a prospect? I don't know. I personally don't see it. I see at this point, one of the big teams still makes a ton of sense. If the Mets think like Sandy could be their guy, if the Cubs think Sandy, like the teams we've heard.
If the Yankees are going to do money on pitching, then
or even if we're doing this money swap, like I know Toronto threw out Barrios. Do you throw Barrios in a prospect to go get Sandy? Something like that makes a little more sense. Maybe I'm just getting too thrown off by the A's logo. Maybe I'm not. Maybe that's exactly where I should be. Let's see. The Nats and the Orioles link up. I-95 rivalry. Nationals trade MacKenzie Gore to the Baltimore Orioles. So MacKenzie Gore kind of fully broke out last year. Remember how dominant he was early in the year? This would be the Orioles putting their chips in for a pitcher. 2 years of MacKenzie Gore. You still have some prospect capital to move on from. The Nats, every time I look at that roster, I'm like, why isn't there just a little more there? Roster. And this would be copying the Red Sox in like Crochet. Bring this guy in. He's broken out. Young, talented lefty arm. Doesn't happen a lot. Former top prospect. It's happening. Jeff Passan. Try to extend him. The Orioles have been looking for their extension move besides Samuel Basallo, who we always remind you does follow me on Instagram. Not sure. Is it an agent-run account? Is it his? It feels like it's his. That I kind of like this. Again, I'm not trying to have my pinstripe showing, but yes, the Orioles need a trade like this. How the world is viewing the Orioles is so messed up right now. Nobody cares anymore. And they were the hot team. Get ready for the next step of the Orioles. And now everyone's just Blue Jays, Yankees, Red Sox. They do a move like this, and I think everyone starts tilting the head again. And they need to. They truly need to. If we're not going to go out and pay the $200 million for someone that C. Scott, then you have to do a move like that. So I really love that. Kylie McDaniel. I need to shake his hand. Pittsburgh Pirates should trade Mitch Keller to San Francisco. Okay. Keller, 3 more years, AAV, $18.5 million. At point there, he was peaking, where the strikeout numbers were getting impressive and the innings being eaten. There's still value for that contract. He would get more than that on the open market. San Francisco needs to add pitching. It sounds like money-wise they're out on Amai. That was the most recent report.
Yeah, I mean, I guess always will see, but they seem to not have a 9-figure investment in them this offseason was, I believe, the reporting verbiage.
Kind of makes sense. They sneaky have brought in a lot of money, but that price for a starting pitcher, the rotation needs some innings. I don't know how we regard San Francisco's pitching lab. Logan Webb's just been really good. Robbie Ray is there.
Yeah.
Verlander's been judged how he's been judged. I don't know. I guess San Francisco Giants fans, do you like your pitching org? That 1 year the bullpen was amazing. I don't know.
I know they currently do think they need a guy who can be at minimum a co-top guy with Logan Webb.
Yeah.
The ace word is tricky with people. I was reading an article this morning in regards to the MI $100 million thing, and they were talking about how the Snell deal really didn't work out for him because he left after the 1 year, and he gets signing bonuses the next couple years, including once in January. He gets $17 million to pitch for the Dodgers, and I think he gets another 15 in not this coming July, but the next one. And this one isn't on the books, but between money owed to Bob Melvin and the buyout they had to pay Tennessee, they're spending $10 million on the manager role this year. that is much more than that role typically goes for.
It's not. Yes, that's been out since Joe Torre had a big salary. I think he was the last guy. Joe Torre, what are your financials? I'm not going to ask him that. Bigelow T, ad. That's the last one on here. We love a mock trade. What do we learn? Well, when I say Edward Cabrera and Joe Ryan, if those guys are available, again, that's not just Yankees. That's literally every team that would love to have Joe for 2 years or Edward Cabrera for 3. You're going to have to give up actual prospects, and they have to like your prospects, and you have to actually give them up, which, again, that's kind of where big market teams can have an advantage, where some of these smaller to mid-market teams do have to bet on those guys to pan out to hopefully keep sustained success. With the prices of pitching, I think we're gonna see that. I'm gonna keep banging Jarren Duran to Kansas City. He's like a lock to be very solid at worst case, and God, Kansas City needs that so badly, so badly. Like, I don't know how many years they can bet on hoping blank works. Who is it? Hunter Renfroe? Like,
they at some point need a real swing. He finished 24 there, and was a big part of their strong finish into the playoffs.
Give me someone I can look at and be like, they're going to give me 150 good baseball games, whatever that looks like. Speaking of placing bets, how about the DraftKings Sportsbook and the DraftKings Casino? Holidays just got hotter. Cash eruption continues to spread the heat and cheer at DraftKings Casino. It's their cousin. The cash eruption bonus. Oh, God. With fiery respins and jackpot wins, new players play $5 and get 500 spins over 10 days on the cash eruption games. Sign up today using promo code JAMSPORTS so they know we sent you. DK Casino is safe, secure, and reliable.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
All right, let me do, because I could save it for another day with Uncle Jasson because it's something I'm passionate about. I think I will. But if you do click over to The Athletic, who, shout out to a friend of the show, Katie Wu, just announced the Dodgers Athletic beat reporter. So happy for her. That team's going to be in the action. It's a safe bet. DraftKings. It's something that I come back to, and Jason Stark provides a couple solutions and a couple more pieces of info. Outfield depth hasn't changed as much as I thought. But again, it's the shifts and the scouting reports and all of that. And there's a solution I've liked, because I don't want to put white lines in the outfield, because the outfield's beauty is part of baseball. But there is something we can do that's not that. But let's save that for another rainy day, just in case we run out of topics. Because we can talk a little football. Because I need to map out my football weekend, so let's map it out together. It starts on Thursday night. Okay. Cowboys, Lions. A little Thanksgiving part 2, literally for me. Spending Thursday with my mom. The two Thanksgiving teams, Dallas and Detroit, running it back on Thursday. I like that. It's in Detroit. Detroit 3-point favorites. The Lions, man, in a weird spot, 7-5. This was supposed to be their final step towards Super Bowl contention. Instead, their division has kind of caught up with them. That they have a big home game for them against the Cowboys, who are the fastest charging team in the sport. One of the most electric offenses, the two wide receivers, Pickens and Lamb, that we've seen in a little bit. Dak putting up some crazy numbers. Should be a really fun Thursday night game. Both teams kind of playoff hopes on the line. Look out for that. That both of these teams will have really good playoff percentage if win versus playoff percentage versus loss numbers. That'll definitely be advertised around this game. Lions 3-point favorites, which tells me from where this would have been at the start of the season, probably would have been Detroit like -5.5. Shows you how everyone's starting to feel. People think the Cowboys might be real. Okay. So fun Thanksgiving part 2 for everyone. Before we get to Sunday, we'll check out Saturday. It's a big college football weekend, although because it's the conference championship games. Friday, Troy versus JMU, buckle up. North Texas versus Tulane, both ranked. So, hey, those are 3 ranked teams in there with JMU, North Texas, and Tulane. So tune into that if you're looking to have a good time. I don't have too much for you, I'll be honest. Saturday, college football, BYU versus Tech at 12. Yeah, a lot of people really like Texas Tech. They went big in the portal, and it's worked. People were wondering, is this going to work? And it did. They're 11-1. Really cool story about their starting linebacker who might get Heisman votes. Rodriguez leads the team in tackles. He was like a very bad quarterback recruit. And the Texas Tech coach like stayed in touch with him, and he's like, dude, if you want to play linebacker, we will be open to that. Not so much the quarterback thing. And he might go to the Heisman Trophy presentation as a linebacker from Texas Tech. So get familiar. Bama versus Georgia in Atlanta, Georgia. 4 o'clock. Always a fun game when these two link up. Georgia starting to come together. Bama, kind of. They're a controversial team right now. That game is always so much fun, and it feels like it's a semi-annual tradition. And then if Georgia wins, is Bama out of the playoff? We will see. 8 p.m., Indiana, Ohio State. Hopefully it's a ton of fun. It's 1 versus 2. It's a game that means everything to Indiana. Ohio State, they just beat Michigan for the first time in 4 years. They just came off a year where they lost to Michigan, and they went on to win in the college football playoff. A lot of people are taking Ohio State versus the field in the college football playoff. It's going to be interesting. Do these teams hide anything from each other? Because they kind of are the true 1 and 2 in the country. I guess Indiana with some of the SEC teams, we still never fully felt or seen that. I hope it's fun. I hope it's everything on the table. I hope it's clear the decks. What a moment it could be for Indiana football if they go 13-0, beat Ohio State, get the 1 seed in the college football playoff. Insanity. Indiana. And yeah, maybe this also could just be an Ohio State, oh crap moment, because I think they're the best team. Saying their quarterback, some people think he should win the Heisman. They have another loaded wide receiver room again. Jason Day, Ryan Day, Jason Day's the golfer, went from like most hated guy in the country to now I've heard people talk about him as like their number 1 most respected play caller. He's got the title. Like, times are good. Does he have a pierced nipple? Remember when that went viral? Not sure. Okay, so Saturday. I mean, if you're a college football person, you're in that. Sunday, NFL Sunday, Seahawks, Falcons. That game's for the birds. Bengals, Bills. Burrow's back, and I'll always watch Burrow. Burrow versus Allen. Yes, tune in. Absolutely. People are hoping the Bills kick back into gear because the AFC's actually open this year. But yeah, okay, 1 p.m. I'm there. Titans, Browns, hard pass. Commanders, Vikings, hard pass. Dolphins, Jets, hard pass. Dolphins, sneaky chance to get back to 500. Not this week, but if they beat the Jets, watch out. Saints, Buccaneers. It's kind of a hard pass, people. Colts, Jags, 8-4. We're going for the AFC South. That's at 1. Steelers, Ravens are both 6-6. Hello. So that's your 1 p.m. So if you're into sicko AFC South stuff, or if you're into classic AFC North with the Steelers and Ravens battling, you could get into that. Give me Burrow and Allen. Okay, I'm in for 1 p.m. It's not the prettiest games. 4 o'clock, Broncos Raiders. Kind of a pass. Go Broncos, 11-2 inbound. Bears Packers. NFC Norris division on the line. Green Bay, 6.5-point favorites. If you believe in motivation, the Bears keeping winning games, whether it's and then to get the Eagles and now to come into this game as a touchdown underdog, if you believe in Ben Johnson and fueling the fire, you take the plus 6.5 easily. Everyone thinks that the bad Bears game is going to come. Let's see. I don't know if it is at this point. They are rolling. Do they have a chance to be last year's Vikings where they win a ton of games and get knocked out? Absolutely. But while you're in it, man, enjoy the ride. Cruella. Listen to that song later. Rams Cardinals, no. Texans Chiefs at night. Yeah, we tune in to Patty. We'll be at winter meetings. Texans playing a really good brand of ball. Could this be the end of the Chiefs season? The Texans defense puts up a performance. Stroud sneakily back to kind of his rookie year Stroud numbers. Texans are 7-5. Chiefs are 6-6. Sometimes the season can get away from you, especially in this league. Ask the Niners last year. That was a little more injury related. Monday, Eagles Chargers. Okay. That'll be good background fodder for the Kyle Tucker signing in Orlando. So, hey, make sure you guys tune into that. We love you. Make sure you're subscribed, share, and we will see you either with breaking news or we'll see you Monday. Thank you.